Alright, so I did a video a while ago talking about how in Liu Kang's new era of Mortal Kombat, he's made Raiden his champion of Earthrealm, and Kung Lao still didn't get the spot as Earthrealm's champion. That you would think after all this time in Mortal Kombat history, he would at least get one shot at being Earthrealm's champion and defending it, at least as the guy, and that's probably never gonna come at this point, but it got me to thinking, how come we've never really explored Kai at any point? Now, I recently did a redesign video about Kai, and for those who don't know who Kai is, and that's probably a lot of you if you didn't play Mortal Kombat before, say, 1999 or 1998, Kai was actually slated to be the new champion of Earthrealm. Kai was set to take over that job after Liu Kang defending Earthrealm in the Mortal Kombat tournament. So the Shaolin monks was not going to be Liu Kang and Kung Lao going forward, it was supposed to be Kai and Kung Lao. Now, I'm not going to talk about whether or not Kai should have actually been the next champion of Earthrealm or not. I'm just going to explore why he's never made an appearance back in Mortal Kombat. That's what I think the crime is at. For the record, Kai was offered the job from Raiden after the events of Mortal Kombat 4.
Kai, you are now a true Shaolin warrior.
Thanks, Raiden, but I'm not interested in becoming a Shaolin warrior anymore. I've got too many of my own problems to deal with.
What will you do next?
I don't know. Wander the earth, search for my soul, that kind of thing.
And Kai turned it down. Just in that alone, I feel like there's a story there. Raiden looking for somebody after Liu Kang, or to at least replace Liu Kang as the champion of Earthrealm, and him needing it to be Kai, and Kai sort of turning down the job because he either doesn't want to do it or isn't ready, and Raiden's needing to convince Kai to actually become the champion of Earthrealm. I feel like there's a lot of room for character development there that was just never expanded on. Especially when you consider the actual beginning of the next Mortal Kombat game. The consequence of Raiden not having a champion of Earthrealm was Raiden having to fight the Deadly Alliance by himself. Well, not by himself, of course, but he was having to lead Earthrealm against the Deadly Alliance. For whatever reason, he couldn't depend on Kung Lao, and I feel like that was the role that was tailor-made for Kai. Just have Kai be in that spot, even if they wanted to kill Kai off in Mortal Kombat Deception, or have him lose to the Deadly Alliance, however it needed to take place when Onaga comes back. There's something there. Of course, this is revisionist history on my part, but just the idea that in Mortal Kombat 4, Raiden needs Kai, Kai refuses the job, Liu Kang gets murdered in the beginning of Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, and now Raiden has to find a replacement for Earthrealm, and in a hurry, because the Deadly Alliance is coming fast, and he needs to recruit Kai as fast as possible. And now, Kai's not really in a position where he can really say no whether he's ready or not, because he might not have an Earthrealm to just explore and go on adventures for a lot longer. So we would almost have a bit of a reluctant hero on our part. Just a really interesting backstory. But once again, never expanded upon. Being honest, out of all the characters from Mortal Kombat 4, the new characters introduced, Tanya, Jarek, Reiko, Shinnok, Quan Chi, like, none of them really appear in Deadly Alliance outside of Quan Chi. He's really it. I just felt like they could have brought Kai back and done a lot more with him. And we wouldn't have had to play the game over the next few years of find a hero that NetherRealm was pretty much doing during the 3D era. Because next we ended up getting Shujinko, and then we ended up getting Taven, who was another character that's never been expanded upon or explored since then, and I just think that's because a lot of people didn't really like Taven for whatever reason. Not really sure, but I feel like the guy for the 3D era games could have been Kai, and he just never was. Now there's also a few reasons for that as well. I've said it before in a previous video, I'm not a fan of Kai's redesign in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. I felt like he just looked clunky and bland and generic. Part of that is his color scheme, which is already an odd color scheme. Trust me, I did a redesign of Kai, so I know the difficulties of trying to design something cool using those sort of black and maroon colors. Like, it's for a black dude to sort of be rocking those colors, it's hard to sort of find a cool looking color scheme to match that. So I understand the problems on NetherRealm's part, or Midway's part for that matter. And the short answer could be as simple as change the colors, but his actual look in Armageddon didn't look that cool. Then when you have every Mortal Kombat character under the sun on the roster, it's hard for you to convince people like, hey, I'm gonna pick Kai as opposed to every cool Mortal Kombat ninja in history, male or female. So that doesn't help. It also doesn't help that even in Mortal Kombat 4, as cool as Kai was, he did have a wonky sort of moveset. Not to mention the fact that the gameplay of Mortal Kombat 4 is just a chaotic, broken mess to begin with, but there was still something there. That's the thing, like I just always felt like there was something to Kai and we never really got to see what that something was. And since we've rebooted Mortal Kombat now and we're starting from scratch with Liu Kang's new era, I feel like this is the perfect chance for them to start anew. But I already feel like that's not gonna happen. I could be wrong, but considering the endings to Mortal Kombat 1, it already seems tailor-made for Shujinko to be the guy that's being groomed in the Shaolin monks and not Kai. But even that's an interesting take that I think that they could explore. Just the thought of Shujinko using his powers to mimic other people's sort of abilities for his own and turning against the Shaolin monks, and them sort of, after numerous tries of trying to calm Shujinko down and sort of train him the right way, they eventually just boot him out of the Shaolin monks, so he deserts it on his own and sort of goes to our world just like an evil Shujinko would be kind of cool. And then you sort of just start training Kai as the new replacement in the Shaolin monks for Shujinko, and then you have a rivalry between Shujinko and Kai. It's like taking the new characters and sort of having cool spins on them to sort of expand upon them from where they were, say, in the 3D era. I just feel like sometimes we need more out of the connections between some of these Mortal Kombat characters from the 3D era games that we've never really got. It's that aspect of Mortal Kombat sort of starting the story anew in the direction that they took with Mortal Kombat 1 that I'm entirely a fan of, because it's such a blank canvas and a clean slate for them to explore, and seeing the direction, for the most part, that they took with the new game, it leaves it open to correct some of the problems with certain characters that have seemingly been forgotten about the time that could get a bigger spotlight going forward. And the way that they handle characters like Ashura sort of gives me a little bit of hope for the future. And I'm just hoping that we get that treatment for Kai down the line as well. Whether it be the next game or some DLC, or who knows in the future, that remains to be seen. But let me know what you think, and let me know how you feel about Kai being brought back as a potential member of the White Lotus Society, along with, I guess, like the likes of Kung Jin or Shujinko or anyone else. And whether or not you think he would even fit as being brought back as a character in MK lore at this point. But in any event, those are my thoughts. You all have a good one, and I'm out.